Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel. And in our top stories today, probably the top of the top stories, this is going to be one that I'm going to ask you right now that you share with your friends, share this on your social media. This is the culmination of everything that we have talked about for the last 4 years on the channel, as well as what we had suspected for the last 6 years. I saw this on Tim Pool's live broadcast yesterday on YouTube. This article is a shocker. It is stunning. It reveals everything that we have talked about now for the last 4 years on the channel, as well as 6 years that we suspected. It is all drawn out. Now, it's a very complex article, as you can see here from The Intercept. Truth Cops, leaked documents outline DHS plans to police disinformation. As you know, here on the channel, we have a saying that the Democrats, working alongside the mainstream media, tech giants, activists, and special interests, worked together to ensure that everyone hated Trump as much as they did. Now, that all comes together to suggest that they were ensuring that they could get as many people to dislike Trump, because when Trump won, they could not psychologically or emotionally process that they had lost. The establishment could not handle it. They were upset. And, of course, then we had the 2-year fabricated smear story that was untrue about Russian collusion, because they were so disappointed, they were so angered by their loss, that they had to reach out and start blaming and even creating material. And in this article by Lee Fang, this is an extensive article, very much like Molly Ball's Time magazine, spiking the football arrogance, and these people are extraordinarily arrogant. Now, it's been suggested that this article came out as we have been seeing this kind of trickling of information for a while, right? We've covered it here on the channel, as they trickle out the truth a little bit at a time, which makes me very suspect, because the way they trickle this out slowly, as we saw with the Supreme Court leak, right? Because how did that happen for the first time in American history if it wasn't orchestrated perhaps by these same groups of people? We don't know that. We probably won't know that. But here's what I'm going to say, just in my own opinion. If it had been a Republican or a conservative justice that they suspected, the Democrats would have already jumped on this. That's all I'm saying. I can't prove it. I'm just saying, based upon all this trickle information that we're continuing to see, that many people believe is being put out there to get ahead of this, because they are anticipating that the Democrats are probably going to take the House and the Senate, and it's going to be terrible for them. So we're going to start off at the beginning of this. The Department of Homeland Security is quietly broadening its efforts to curb speech it considers dangerous. An investigation by The Intercept has found years of internal Department of Homeland Security memos, emails, and documents obtained via leaks and an ongoing lawsuit, as well as public documents, illustrate an expansive effort by the agency to influence tech platforms. Now, it's not limited to just that. As I said, this article is extensive, outline, damning information that perhaps the Democrats and the establishment are trying to get out there in the public so that they can either misdirect things, redirect things, because if the Republicans do what the Democrats have done recently, at least the Republicans will have the actual tangible evidence, or the receipts, as the kids would say, to be able to expose all this. And this is what we have talked about. This is what YouTube and the platforms try to suppress our content on, because it doesn't go with the narrative, because it is very, very indicative. Now, as you see here, Lee Fang has broke the article down for us in bite-sized information that we like to do here on the BuzWeaver channel. So, docs show Facebook and Twitter closely collaborating with Department of Homeland Security, FBI to police disinfo, plans to expand censorship on topics like withdrawal from Afghanistan, origins of COVID, info that undermines trust in financial institutions. So there you have all of it right there, the structure, the framework, the formulaic system that was being used. FBI agent Laura Dunlow was in communications with Facebook that led to the suppression of the Hunter Biden laptop story in 2020 over the false allegation that it was disinfo. This year, she met with Twitter, Department of Homeland Security, to stress we need a media infrastructure that is held accountable. Excuse me, guys. Imagine that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to link all this below so you guys can go and click on the actual images to see them in full. Because I'm just going to review them here for you, because here on the BuzWeaver channel, of course, we take the difficult, the complicated, the confusion, and the tumult to make it a little simpler. Facebook and Twitter created special portals for the government to rapidly request takedowns of content. The portals, along with NGO partners, used to censor a wide range of content, including, obviously, parody accounts and content disagreeing with government pandemic policy. Ladies and gentlemen, there it is. Facebook content request system. And you can click on all these. I'm going to leave them here. This is also amazing. The emails and documents show close collaboration, I guess, DHS and private sector. Twitter's Vijaya Gadde, fired by Elon Musk last week, met monthly with DHS to discuss censorship plans. Microsoft exec text, Department of Homeland Security platforms have got to platforms have to get comfortable with government. Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. You can read that tweet. It's absolutely, or this exchange, this text exchange, absolutely phenomenal. How does Department of Homeland Security justify its evolving mission from countering authoritarian groups to policing domestic disinfo on social media? Leaked planning docs show the agency argues false information is a source of radicalization and violence. So there you have it. Very similar to what we just recently saw with Paul Pelosi. I hope he recovers from that incident, but we are learning far more information about what really happened, what the truth is, versus what the Democrats were trying to pull here at this last-minute October surprise. Earlier this year, Department of Homeland Security launched a widely panned disinfo governance board, which it later shuttered following criticism. You guys remember that. But the same agenda lives with the Department of Homeland Security sub-agency, CISA, which argues disinformation is a threat to the American critical infrastructure. Let me increase a little bit. Maybe that'll help. It's absolutely amazing, guys, and it goes on and on and on and on and on. Absolutely phenomenal to see that we are now reaching the point where we have the evidence, or anyone who wants to investigate this, particularly the Republicans, and the Democrats have always counted on the Republicans to play by the rules, because you know the saying, you give the left an inch, they take a mile. You give Republicans a mile, they only take an inch. So they are very, very afraid of all this. And here is something that is a cause for a huge concern, because Elon Musk engineers are now going through all of the coding, all of the data, all the information on Twitter, and this is what they found from Watchtail of Twitter. Board deliberately hid the evidence from the court. Stay tuned, more to come. Now, this is just something that they were able to find and reveal. But also, LOL, if Amir continues to BS me, my escalation route is Amir's okayers are entirely based on fraudulent metrics, and he doesn't care and may actively be trying to hide the ball. Literally doing what Elon is accusing us of doing. The arrogance, the hubris, the absurdity, the nonsense that gets suppressed, that they do. When I cover it here on the channel, I'll probably get demonetized, possibly for this video itself. But these are the things that they have been doing. We have the information. We have the evidence here from Li Fang. And this goes on and on and on and on. Of course, I'm going to cover every single portion of it. But I'm going to leave links below, even to Tim's outline that he did, because this is extraordinary. I urge you, share this with your friends if you're watching this on DTube, Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, as well as on YouTube. Make sure we get this information out there, as we are 7 days away from the election here in the States, from the midterms. I've already voted. I voted early here in Georgia, and it was packed every single time I drove by my particular precinct there where I voted early. It was absolutely stunning. I want to thank all of you guys for your continued support. Appearing there on the screen, that would be the channel icon if you are watching on YouTube. You can click on that to subscribe, as well as to select notifications. That way you'll know when there's content here on the channel. And I will see you guys in the next video.